balance sheet for total inventory, what's in that number? If likewise, if we're shipping some of our inventory to a customer at the end of the year, it's on the way, it's on the truck on December 31st, and that's our fiscal year ends December 31st, is it ours or is it the buyer's? So we're gonna look at these different situations. So merchandise inventory includes all the goods that a company owns and holds for sale, regardless of where the goods are located when the inventory is counted. So that is important. So obviously, we own all the inventory that's in our store. Obviously, we own all the inventory that's in our factory. But the question is, there are some questions about goods in transit, which I just talked about. What about goods that are shipping or inventory that is being shipped to us? What about goods on consignment? That's a good question. Goods on consignment, so that means that if we're holding goods for somebody else on consignment, they maintain the ownership. They have that legal right to the inventory. So, but if somebody's holding goods for us on consignment, maybe we don't have enough storage space, maybe they're gonna try to sell them for us, usually they charge a fee, but we still have the legal title to those goods. And this is where business law and accounting merge, for things like this. Who owns the goods if they're held on consignment? You have to look at who possesses the legal title. So if we're asking somebody to hold the goods for us, we still own them. If we're holding the goods that somebody else owns, then they own them. And then goods in transit, you have to go, and you'll study this in your business law class, you'll hear about FOB shipping point and FOB destination again. The FOB shipping point means that the buyer pays for the shipping, and therefore the buyer owns it while it's in transit. FOB destination means the seller pays for the shipping, and the seller owns it while it's in transit. So if we're Walmart here in Georgia, and we're ordering from a wholesaler that is in Ohio, and it's at the end of the year, the terms are FOB shipping point, we're buying goods, the goods are on the way, they're on the truck on December 31st, and it's FOB shipping point, that means we own them while they're in transit. If it's FOB destination, that means the seller owns them at that point in time. So you have to be careful when determining who owns the goods at the end of the year. So again, FOB shipping point, the goods are included in the buyer's inventory when they are shipped. When they're loaded on that truck, they become the buyer's. FOB destination, the goods are included in the buyer's inventory only after they arrive. Then we get to count them. Goods on consignment means that sometimes we're holding goods for somebody else, and they're paying us a little bit of a fee to store the goods. Sometimes somebody else is holding the goods on consignment for us. Whoever has legal title, the consignor, is the owner of the goods, because the consignor has legal title. The consignee sells the goods for the owner. The merchandise is included in the person or in the company who owns it, which is the consignor. Sometimes goods get damaged or become obsolete. Damaged or obsolete goods are not reported in inventory if they cannot be sold. So you have to write those off. That is just gonna become part of cost of goods sold. Damaged and obsolete inventory is gone. So you cannot count that as inventory anymore. Net realizable value is the sales price minus the selling cost. So if you can salvage some of that inventory and sell it for less of a price, then you have to write it down to the net realizable value, which is the sales price minus any selling cost. And a loss is recorded when damage or obsolescence occurs. So let's practice. We're gonna practice in a minute talked about in these first few slides. So if you joined a little bit late, you may wanna have the PowerPoint slides up so that you can try to figure out this first problem. Number 4, we're gonna look at determining the cost of inventory. So the cost of any asset includes all of the costs incurred to acquire that asset and place it in a condition ready for its intended purpose. With inventory, the cost of inventory is all the costs incurred to acquire the inventory, ship it to us, store it, insurance while it's in transit. That is all part of the cost of the inventory. We add that all in. Import duties. So let's go to homework question number 4. Oh, this is number 2. Let's go to homework question number 2. That's a good one to start with too. Homestead Crafts, distributor of handmade gifts, operates out of owner Emma Finn's house. At the end of the current period, Emma looks over her inventory and finds the following. So she has 1,200 units in the basement, 17 of which were damaged by water and cannot be sold. 190 units in the van ready to deliver to a customer termed her FOB destination. And then 190 units out on consignment to a friend who owns a retail store. How many units should Emma include in the period's ending inventory? So let's go through these and talk about them one by one, because I feel like this is a little bit confusing. So what it's saying, the first question, take it bit by bit. Those 1,200 units in the basement, the question is, should those 17 that are damaged and cannot be sold, should we include those as part of that 1,200? No, so we are going to subtract that. So I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna talk about the damaged units, and I'm gonna say 17